Hello, hello. This is Painter Dave here. I'm going to do some YouTube videos for an instructor series to help art teachers, or not even an art teacher, just someone who wants to, in possibly psychology field or work as art therapy, because it's just amazing the results I get with these as young as 4 years old. And I thought I want to try to pass this on. I'll show you that one. Is a painting that was done by a 4-year-old, kind of one-on-one lesson with my granddaughter. It took about an hour and a half. This here is one that just kind of came out, kind of got lucky on it, to be honest with you. There's a little 7-year-old put those leaves on those tree there in about 10 nanoseconds. It's pretty funny. Right in front of one of the parents down at the Boys and Girls Club. Anyway, we got pretty lucky. Luck counts, okay? I just wanted to go over the setup here, because you have to pick, make sure you get your, these are just these little cheapy easels from Hobby Lobby. Get them 50% off or 40% off coupon. I tape them down to the plastic folding table with Gorilla Tape so they can't move. It's real important. They move, but they don't fall over, because you don't have time to deal with issues, things like that. If you're outside and it's windy or something. Just want to go over I got 4 layers here of wax paper down. And as you only put one color of paint out at a time for these kids, they'll start playing in it and everything else. So you just kind of keep ripping the sheets off as you change colors. Don't leave a lot of paint out and or brushes out at one time, because they'll kind of make a mess of it. Now I do a lot, just put 2 layers down and cover each time, but then they see the paint in between the wax paper and they want to play with it. So it's better just to start ripping it off one at a time. I do use linen seed oil. Yeah, it's not refined, but we're not doing a $40,000 portrait. It's a lot cheaper to buy one of these. As far as I do use oil paints, so I use the Sunnyside odorless thinner. If you put it in these coffee cans after you clean your brushes after 2 or 3 weeks, it'll settle out. I don't know if we can see this or not, but all the pigment will fall to the bottom, and you can reuse this thinner over and over and over. It gets a little stronger, but it's odorless, and it works just fine. The other thing I want to point out is I'll use the Master Touch white paint from Hobby Lobby. I'll use their yellow. That's about it. Their blacks, browns, red, Lazarian Crins. I don't know if they made it with mud or what, but it's horrible. They quit carrying these Winsor Newton ones. I carry those, okay? And I buy those at Hobby Lobby. They work real well. This brush is the cheapest 2-inch wide brush you can buy at Menards or Walmart. This here is the foliage brush. That also is just a cheap paintbrush, 1.5 inches. I take scissors and make that. That's how you do those leaves. No big deal. Wanted to point out that this very, very, maybe 1/4 inch at the most, this little bitty brush, if you can kind of compare it to this 2-inch one, that's for the kids to use on their branches and their trunks. You give them a brush any bigger than that, they're going to destroy it. So you can gotta keep control of the things, one brush at a time, one color at a time. The other thing is, these paints here, this is what I do use at the Boys and Girls Club, because they dry overnight, very expensive, very strong odor. We're in a big giant gymnasium. Don't think it would work inside of a small room. I know it wouldn't. And we're not going to use those today. These are great because they dry overnight, but they're very, very strong, and they're hard to get off the kids' hands. They start drying immediately. They are an oil, a fast drying one. I'm thinking maybe it might be best to mix them 50-50 with the others. I haven't quite tried that yet. But these work really well. That way the kid can take their painting home the next day. Ideally, you'd want to, use these other oils, but they take a week to dry. And that's what I normally do on my one-on-one lessons at the school up at West Platte R2. I've been doing that for 13 years. About the canvases, not trying to be picky or nothing, but these Hobby Lobby canvases, these Master Touch ones are outstanding. I used, for 13 years, used a 22 by 28. I wait till they're 50% off, go clean out all the stores, make them give me rain checks, so I get them for, what is that, $9 plus tax. These is what I started using, okay, these 2-packs, because that gets the price way down, 18 by 24, whatever you do. don't go smaller than 18 by 24. You won't have enough room to fix things. That's what I do at the Boys and Girls Club just to keep the cost down. My work does sponsor it, but I feel like I need to be a good steward. They do make a 20 by 24 in this. That's if you're just doing a few kids. I recommend the 20 by 24 if you're not doing a whole bunch of kids at one time or just one at a time. Or if you want to do the big 22 by 28, you know, this one here, it worked for 15 years for me. So, but as I had to kind of make myself watch the cost a little bit. But anyway, just wanted to point that out. The other painting that's a real easy one for the kids to do is this one. So this video series is going to focus on very simple paintings, very easy paintings, and stuff the kids can be successful with. And make sure that you know how to practice this over and over and over, because last night I broke protocol and I thought, oh, we'll just stamp these little round things on the canvas. It'll work out great. Had these little metal deals. I hadn't tried it yet. Anyway, it was a train wreck, first one in 15 years. So those 4 kids are going to get to paint again because I broke protocol and didn't practice it. Now, we've done some abstract, but I did practice it at work and say this will work, this won't. So make sure that you're expert level at it, or you know, very confident at it before you try doing it. And then work one-on-one with yourself. Do 5 paintings of the same painting, and then teach someone else how to do it. Keep in mind all these things here. I wouldn't deviate from this. This works. This wax paper, taping down the easels, all that stuff. First thing would be to, like Bob Ross, you put down a very thin coat. What I do is what the linseed oil is for. I'll put down some white paint here and mix in some linseed oil. I make it thin, not watery, but thin. Real thin coat on the canvas, and then I wipe it off with a paper towel. So make sure there's just a super thin layer. So that's the first step, and then we'll go from there. Send me some message comments if you have any other questions. But I think that about covers everything.